Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Marketing Metrics. I've got an example of a dashboard. Now, like in your assignment, you don't need to actually, you can take any dashboard that you can find online and look at the graphs and interpret it and tell me where you pick up anomalies. Anomalies is a different word for something which doesn't seem in place, seems wrong. Normally, the way you would do it is you would look at where there's a big difference and then all of a sudden a big change. You see, those seem to sort of follow each other, whereas this is completely different and there it's out of whack. Okay, you see, this one is also seems like it's going in reverse with each other. Now, you can take, for your assignment, you can take any graph that you can find, marketing metrics dashboard, identify 3 possible issues, and then come up with 3 possible reasons why, 1 reason for each scenario or place where you find the error, and then come up with a possible problem or a solution to that problem. Now, I'm going to show you a few things. Now, this is like in your assignment, you can tell me whatever company this is. I don't know what company this is. I'm guessing, I'm making it up. This is an online ad campaign for some online company. Now, obviously, in any metrics, you would get abbreviations, and often you won't really know what it is. But I think that would be click-through rate, and that would be cost per click. So how much it costs for every time a person click on an ad or something to come to your website. Click-through rate would be how many people that actually view that ad or whatever actually clicks on it. Okay, so let's go first here. Let's see. Now this, I don't understand why it looks like this. Link clicks, like I said, I don't know the graph. Links click-through rate. I don't know what that exactly means because according to me, let me just see. Oh, okay. Right. There's something that you can see here on this graph, and this is actually good that I pick it up now. You will see here on the left-hand side is the scale 0, 80, 100, and 62, 40. And that relates to, I would say, this part. Okay, the number. Okay. Whereas on this side, you've got a percentage which relate to that one. Okay, so the link clicks is a number, the number of clicks that were done, and the click-through rate is the percentage. Okay, so the numbers and the percentages is at the bottom, whereas the number of clicks is at the top. Okay, and we need to identify why that's an anomaly. Something went wrong here because the whole time the click-through rate is very low percentage-wise. It's most probably 0.1%, which is very low. So it means about 1 out of 1,000 people actually click on it. But the amount of people that click is about 200, then it goes down to about 70, then it goes up about 180, and so it goes up and down. Which does not make sense on this graph, is why the click-through rate is so high here, and then it drops and then it goes up again, whereas the amount of clicks, the link clicks, is going down. This makes no sense. A possibility for this might be, this is where you need to understand quite a lot about the field that you're operating in. It might be that this is a functionality you all at some stage might have been on a website. The moment you open the website, it opens a new page in the background. It might be due to that. Yeah, but now our question is September 21 till September 26. Now we will have to see, was that effective conversion? And it doesn't seem like it. You see it goes down there. So website conversions, conversion rate. Yeah, it seems like it wasn't effective. That's most probably a scenario where people type in a web address and open the web, or they click on a web address, and the website has got an automatic program which opens your page in the background. So in this example, it doesn't seem to make sense. Okay, it's a little bit highly technical, but you guys need to get exposure to this because you are going to work on online campaigns somewhere along the line in industry. Conversion rate, cost per conversion. You see, I always take the one where it seems to be an anomaly, and I compare it with another one, which is a different graph, and then a different graph, a graph again. So September 21 till September 26. You can see here both the cost per click was less, but and this also does not make sense. Most probably this, like I said, it's a company which I don't know. Website conversions, conversion rate, cost per click, and cost. Okay, so this is actually the way they put the graphs isn't wise, because you'll see website conversion is that one, and conversion rate is this one. So it's not, that does not relate to this, and this does not relate to that. They sort of crisscross each other. You do not want to have a graph that does this. Rather move that to a place where it's above the graph, else it generates confusion. So it's good that we got this, because now we see things that are wrong that should not be like that. Okay, so on this we've got the cost per click and the cost amount we're spending. Now again, you will see the scale here on the left is the CPC scale. We have to figure this out because that's a low number, so it won't be this. That's a low number. You see that? The 2.1. So the cost per conversion is sorry, my mistake. Cost per click. You see, this is also not wise. Cost per conversion, cost per click. You see, they're using the same words. So rather have cost per click and then in words and cost per conversion. Then you won't get confused. So the CPC is 1.7 CPC. Okay. So what they're saying is the cost per click in the most recent time, it went up by 69%, which is something you don't want to. Why is your cost of clicking going up? You don't. So somewhere in your advertising campaign, something is running wrong. You're advertising on the wrong pages. Your ad changed. People don't like your ad. I mean, if you don't like the ad, you're not going to click on it. Or there's something wrong in the wording of the ad. People don't understand it. Or you advertise on a web page where none of your clients or very few of your clients are working. Okay, so the cost per click, then it goes up. And then your on the other side is the cost, which is actually this one. Let me see. Cost and this one, okay. So the cost went up, down. So total advertising cost in this instance went down, okay. And here it went up. But in the last instance, okay, you need to find, if you have a scenario where your cost went up and your cost per click came down, that would be very effective, okay? Now, in this instance, I'm trying to figure out, and this graph is, like I said, sometimes, and this is a good example of where the graph does not make sense. And like I said before, they made a lot of mistakes here. I'm going to show you another mistake, which I also picked up before I started the video. Your cost for the ad campaign went down by 32%. That's what this indicator says. Whereas your cost per click went up. Now, firstly, I wouldn't make up when it relates to cost, a green one. And when costs go down, it's a red one. It's more positive. Green is considered to be good and red is considered to be bad. So I would rather say when it comes to cost, that one should be green and that one should be red. They should swap these two around. So in this scenario, you want your cost to go down. So that's good. Even though it's red, it's good. Okay? Whereas your cost per click went up. So that's bad. So even though your cost went down, your ad campaign was inefficient or ineffective because your cost per click is actually more. So even though your overall cost came down, the actual every time a person clicks and you divide it by your overall cost, it's actually not positive. Okay, so like I said, this is actually a very bad example to start with because it has a lot of mistakes. I only picked up one mistake before I started the video, but as you analyze further, you will to get more knowledge on the graph. Another mistake which I make, look at this. And let me zoom in a little bit, then you're going to see it. Okay. In this one, click, you will see Bing is yellow. There, Google AdWords is yellow, and there, Google AdWords is yellow. Google AdWords is here green. There it's yellow, there it's yellow. Twitter ads is the same. Linked ads is here blue, there Bing ads is blue, there Bing ads is blue. You do not want to have a graph that's like this because any person who sits in a board meeting is going to sit and they're going to try and analyze this, and by default you're going to compare green with green with green. And then no. Here, LinkedIn, you see how I'm struggling to keep tabs. LinkedIn is green here, LinkedIn is green here, but LinkedIn is blue here. So 23% should be compared with 37%, which should be compared with 71% or almost 72%. You don't want the ad campaign which the graphs are on this. This is a good example of what not to do. Okay, so however, just for simplicity's sake, let's drop this one because it's going to confuse us. Just look at these two, cost and conversion. Now you see in LinkedIn ads, both of it is green, and Facebook ads, both of it is blue, okay? Right, this is why I wanted to actually start off with this to show the mistake. I wasn't aware of the mistakes there at the top, but now we discussed it anyway. You will see LinkedIn ads conversion, meaning most probably conversion can mean listen, that the person actually buys something. It's not just that they click the ad, but that they go to my online store and that they actually buy something. So it's converting into a sale. Okay, so LinkedIn has got 72% conversion, but the cost that we're spending is 37%. Whereas we spend very close to an equal amount on Facebook ads, 35%, but the conversion is only 27%. And now look at Google AdWords. I don't know what the percentage is there. It's probably something like 10% or something. I'm just guessing, 12% maybe if I look at this one. Google AdWords cost me quite a lot, but almost no. I don't know if that is a little yellow sliver in there or not, little yellow line, or if there's nothing in there. It looks like it's slightly yellow and slightly light blue. And the same goes for your Bing ads. You spend 15% here. Bing ads, there's almost nothing. So there you identify the problem, okay? So in your assignment, you need to identify the problem. This is an example of two problems. Firstly, you spend money on Google AdWords. You spend money on Bing ads, which is a different search engine, okay? Now, why? If you don't get any sales from it, why do you spend that? Stop spending this. Rather go and then also reduce the Facebook ads. You see there, 35% is spent on Facebook ads, but it only generates 28% of the sales. So rather take both Bing ads and Google AdWords and spend that amount to include it to be the same as LinkedIn ads. Okay. And then imagine now if 1/3, well, it's more than 1/3, if 1/3 gives you 72% of the sales, if you take that additional 1/3 there roughly, and you add this, then remember this is percentages. So don't look at the percentage. You can't add 71% plus 71% or 72% plus 72%. You can't get more than 100%. But what's going to happen is percentage-wise, obviously Facebook is going to become less, but volume-wise, your campaign is going to shoot through the roof. Remember, a circle is always 100%. Okay, but now that is your best option, is to drop those two. Drop Bing ads, drop Google AdWords. You can even go further and say, listen, let's even go further and reduce Facebook ads. Drop Google AdWords, drop Bing ads, and reduce Facebook ads. If we do that, this, yes, the percentage is going to most probably go up to almost 100%. The chance of you getting 100% is almost zero, because you always get somebody coming to your website who didn't come via LinkedIn, or somebody who comes for a repeat sale. But the percentage is going to go up, but that's not what we want. We want the sales volume to go up. So if we look at this, and yes, the percentage does go up, but don't be fooled only by looking at the percentage. So website conversion cost, session bounce rate, transactions. Now, I don't know what this transactions means, because conversion means it leads to a sale. But in this graph, what you would ideally want is you want some form of revenue income. You see, there's no place where I actually can see what is the revenue. So if I have 72% here on this side, what is that amount? Because if I can change the Google AdWords and the Bing to become LinkedIn ads, then that would generate a hell of a lot of more income. And I can actually anticipate what is going to be my increase in sales. Like you would know, during COVID shutdown, there's a lot of online stores which now get a hell of a volume of sales, and they're struggling to keep with the demand, resulting in their company getting a bad name because people are waiting 2-3 months. Some of them have smart stores. You must go in on Hello Peter and check what's happening within Google and not Google, Game, and especially Macro. People are complaining, saying, I've been waiting since March for my delivery. We're in June now, end of June. Why don't I have any delivery of my goods? Whereas you said it's going to take 5 to 7 days. So if you're going to change your ads for online store, you can anticipate how much your sales is going to increase volume-wise, and then stock up. You remember I discussed that in class. Stock up. So you know you're selling 100 units in a month. Now you do 200 units because you're not making cost 1/3 or whatever you're not going to use now. You're going to use 2/3 now of your revenue for advertising. So logically, one can anticipate you're going to have a double in sales. Okay. Interesting thing which you can also analyze from this, LinkedIn generally, people who are in LinkedIn are professional people. Whereas Facebook, traditionally it used to be young people, now more retired people are coming to the scene for Facebook. Like I mentioned to you before, you know, granddads and grandmom, gogo, they want to see what their children at university is doing. Now they're starting Facebook, and now they're getting to know their friends. And now you, as a student, become irritated because grandmom now see how much you binge drink at university on your photos. So students are leaving Facebook. But LinkedIn, professional people. So the product that's sold here is most probably some product for professional people. So that also gives you an idea of where you can advertise on which type of websites. So if that was the case, you will not have weird scenarios where you increase your advertising expenditure, but your sales doesn't go up accordingly. So you can target specific websites. Okay, I hope this helps you. This is like I said, this is the first video, and it's like literally a cold screen that I took, like I normally do in class. Unfortunately, I don't have the feedback with COVID-19 shutdown now. I don't have the feedback from you. You can't ask questions. If you really want to ask questions, contact Amanda with a WhatsApp group and send the question back. But I think you get a good idea of how we look at advertising and marketing metrics. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.